To anyone looking for a renewed sense of purpose in these uncertain times, who is seeking for a cataclysmic, once-in-a-lifetime event that will uplift their spirits, I'll give you one. Now you must embrace the metaphysical possibilities, since rational, scientific afterthought, or even raw emotional judgment won't do justice. I am an astrologer. I'm not the most professional one in the world, but since my early 20s, I've embraced this esoteric discipline. From what I've learned regarding current trends and planetary transits, we are on the verge of something not experienced since approximately the year 4600 BC. You see, this was around the time when writing was invented. Most of us would agree that this was the dawn of human civilization as we know it. Now, I'm going to share with you something that is literally giving me goosebumps and a simultaneous sense of shock and awe as I talk about this. Next year, in February of 2026, an exceedingly rare planetary conjunction will occur. I brought up the year 4600 BC because that was the last time in recorded human history this astrological event took place. Every 36 years or so, Saturn and Neptune form a conjunction with each other. Think of it as two planets touching each other in the night sky. Throughout history, Saturn Conjunct Neptune has stirred up major historical events, most notably in Russia. During this particular transit in the past, the Russian Revolution, the death of Joseph Stalin, and the fall of the Berlin Wall all took place while Saturn was in conjunction with Neptune. It's also said that greater evidence of extraterrestrial life is presented to us. However, next February will be very, very monumental. Saturn and Neptune are scheduled to be in conjunction once again. Now, here's where it gets especially jaw-dropping. When they conjoin, both planets will be at 0 degrees of Aries. Think about that for a minute. 0 degrees of Aries. We are crossing from the end of one era to another. After all, Aries is the sign of new beginnings. So if this exact conjunction happened in the 47th century BC, just think of how much of a cosmic reset this will be for humanity. But what exactly constitutes Saturn conjunct Neptune energy? In astrology, Saturn is the planet of solid structures, limitation, maturity, wisdom, caution, conservatism, stability, sobriety, and respect for traditional values. Neptune, by stark contrast, represents fantasy, utopian vision, illusion, delusion, deception, confusion, intuition, and spirituality. A conjunction in a natal chart or in transit represents a fusion of planetary characteristics. It is when two planets are anywhere from 0 to 8 degrees from each other. In this case, Saturn conjunct Neptune is rather challenging, since it represents tensions between fantasy and reality. It's as if something like an idea, lifestyle, or job someone who's holding on to stubbornly is no longer appropriate in his or her growth. The individual has fantasized illusions as to who they want to be, yet they cannot face the concrete reality of what they must overcome. As individuals and a collective whole, this conjunction serves to break down barriers hindering progress, especially in the realms of spiritual development, politics, and epistemological or empirical knowledge. Natives born with Saturn conjunct Neptune often feel insecure about themselves. They may have lacked emotional support from their parents, who may have been cruel, harsh, and demanding towards them. Their dreams often shape their reality. If they believe others are inherently mean or disrespectful, they will encounter many people like that. However, if they are convinced others are rational, educated, and helpful, then that's what they will experience. It is important Saturn conjunct Neptune natives stay grounded to live in their present reality as it is, because living in fantasy can make them susceptible to escapism through drugs, alcohol, joining cults, and blindly trusting conspiracy theories. They can also firmly believe in lies propagated by questionable sources or groups. Saturn conjunct Neptune natives can also be spiritual fanatics who must praise their own beliefs onto the masses. The results of this can be quite devastating. To overcome the negative aspects of this conjunction, these natives must cultivate a strong sense of discernment and realize life is not all doom and gloom. With hard work and a sense of life purpose, they can live fulfilling lives. They can become a pillar of hope for the less fortunate with their spiritual values and become great teachers, spreading enlightening ideals to many students. The impact of Saturn conjunct Neptune transits upon world events is also profound. During these events, governments and empires can rise or fall, world leaders can be ousted, and whatever may seem indestructible can easily crumble. Lawlessness and anarchy may reign, as society must reorganize in order to establish new customs and strip away outdated structures that hinder the prosperity of civilization. Next year, civilization as we know it will turn upside down. 2026 will serve as the fulcrum point of a new era for our species, where technology will propel us to undreamed of heights. At first, it may seem like chaos. Governments, world leaders, and institutions fighting to preserve the status quo will suppress the rights and freedoms of the common man. But with Pluto in Aquarius and the sextiles between Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus all about to form, a new unprecedented cry for freedom will begin. The matrix as we know it will collapse. Technological progress will expand the collective consciousness of mankind like we've never seen. Ultimately, new spiritual ideals of individuality and fundamental basic rights will take center stage. We are all sentient, interconnected beings endowed with inalienable rights. With artificial superintelligence and singularity on the horizon, humanity will begin to comprehend its true potential. Always remember, being free is your birthright. Love yourself for who you are. In a time when most of us seek external validation, we must look within ourselves. What makes us truly unique? Our ability to love, think, and reflect. You are special in your own way. You are universal light, one indestructible, glimmering, eternal spirit. The age of Aquarius is upon us all.